All right, we are live. Welcome back to another watch party. It is the Nets taking on the Charlotte Hornets. This is going to be a tank off of the century, I think. With the lineups that we are going to witness at the tip off. Starting five for the Nets: Russell, Keon Johnson, Jalen Wilson, Zaire Williams, and Nic Claxton. The Hornets: Vasa Micic, Nick Smith, Josh Okogie, Miles Bridges, and Taj Gibson. My God, that is a shocker. That is an absolute shocker of a lineup. But the Nets are now well and truly sucked into that fight for I'm going to say the second pick in the draft, because the Wizards are so far back. They've lost 14 games in a row. But right now, the Nets are 1-9 in their last 10 games. They have lost 7 on the trot. They are only 3 games back of the Utah Jazz. And, well, the Pelicans are only 2 games ahead of them, and that is for the third pick, or the third best odds. Well, the top 3 have an equal chance of getting the number 1 pick. So, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this pans out at the end of the year. A lot of basketball left to be played. Really, you don't even need to go for the worst odds. If you've got the third worst odds, you have the exact same chance of getting the number 1 pick as you would if you had the worst record. So, still, I mean, we are a bit away from that, but only a couple of games. Today we play a Hornets team who are 12-31. They've got a worse win percentage, but they are the same amount of games back from the worst record in the league. So today's a big game in the sense that it is, well, whoever wins this will be a game further back, if you will, from the number 1 pick. So, or the number 1 best odds. So really, I think it's going to be a matter of who wants to lose this game more. But you know what? I think the Nets have a lot better of a chance of winning this game, purely because of the fact that, the last time we played the Hornets, it was a drastically different situation. The Nets were 6-9 on the season. They had actually won 4 of their first 7 home games, with this being one of the games, or this fixture being one of the games. We have only won 1 game at home since. We're 1-13 in our last 14 games, which is sort of nuts. But in that Hornets game, I do remember LaMelo Ball had a bit of a stinker in this game. He was in foul trouble. He was committing turnovers, and he wasn't hitting shots. He only played 24 minutes the whole game, and that was a team low, a starting 5 low, should I say. But right now, the availability for the Hornets is that bad that only 1 starter from that previous meeting we played against this team remains, and that is Miles Bridges. No Grant Williams, no Brandon Miller, no LaMelo Ball, no Josh Green, and then on top of that, no Trey Mann, no, I think Cody Martin, and no Mark Williams, who has been back for a little chunk of time. I just need to see Hornets PR. I'm pretty certain. Let's have a look who's out. LaMelo, Josh Green, Trey Mann, Cody Martin, Miller, Solon, Williams, and Williams. That is, if we go back to the previous game we played against the Hornets, that's removing, I'm just trying to count. They had 6 players in double figures, and only one of them is available, which is Miles Bridges. The rest did not get above 4 points, which is sort of crazy. For the Nets, we also have a drastically different starting lineup. Interestingly enough, the only Net from that game that's playing today that was in the starting lineup in that previous fixture, Jalen Wilson, believe it or not, he was starting that game. He hit 5 threes on good percentages. Finney Smith, Cam Johnson, Schroeder, and Ben Simmons were all starting, and they are all out. Sorry, They're all not in the starting lineup. Finney Smith and Schroeder, of course, traded. Johnson is injured. Ben Simmons is going to come off the bench. Trendon Watford is one player that is returning today, and he did score in double figures in that game. Off memory, I do remember him getting a lot of post touches because they were trying to run the hot hand with Trey Mann, who scored 19 in that game, but he was getting cooked on defense, and that's what cost them down the stretch. Last time out, we played the Kings, and we gave away a 20.20 rebound triple-double to Domantas Sabonis. Fox had 30, and, well, DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk were good supporting hands for the Nets. We had no player score above 20 points. We didn't have one player hit 20 points. We had 5 players in double figures, but the percentages were absolutely ghastly, especially from 3, only the 28%. But we did do a good job of forcing turnovers, especially in the first half. However, that dried up as the game wore on. And so ultimately we ran out of juice. I mean, we were in the lead or within one with about 8 or so minutes to play, and then the tanking lineup came in, and it was absolute dross the rest of the game. I will say that much. What was I going to say? I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. There was just the thought that came to mind initially. I think the big thing for the Nets at the moment, right, is just simple fundamentals, getting that right. I mean, how many, Zaire Williams blew 2 dunks last game. Jalen Wilson missed a couple. Well, he missed one wide open layup, which is unforgivable in an NBA game. But on top of that, a bunch of other layups. He just didn't have the polish at the rim. He just was overshooting it way too often. He played 40 minutes the other day. Not one other net played over 30 minutes. And Wilson played 40 and was a team worst -25. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about how he was. Tosin and Day'Ron Sharpe, they had good performances the other day off the bench. Day'Ron had 12 and 10, but he had 7 offensive rebounds and 3 steals to go with 4 converted free throws on the same amount of attempts. That's what Tosin did as well. And he scored 15 and had 8 rebounds as well. 3 of those offensive, 2 assists and 2 steals, but the 5 turnovers were also a team high. So he probably wants the ball security to improve. But overall, I think those two are really shining lights in the loss against the Kings. But obviously, those two will have a roll off the bench again. I just don't know what version of the Nets we're going to get tonight, because I feel like this is a game in past years which the Nets would, funnily enough, actually lose. I don't know who the Hornets have available, because of course they've got 7 players out or something stupid like that. But they've been pretty good in the last patch of time. The problem is, I mean, the injuries have absolutely smashed them in the last few games. They did well against the Lakers the other night. They lost by only 5, despite conceding 42 points and 23 rebounds to Anthony Davis, which is pretty nuts. Miles Bridges had 26. Josh Green was playing, and so was LaMelo Ball, but only the 9 minutes for him. Mark Williams also played. So they are missing 3 starters from the previous game. So definitely their hopes have been dashed if they wanted to win. But you're seeing Taj Gibson get a start, and he played 4 minutes the other night. Vasa Micic played an extended block of time because LaMelo Ball was out. But I imagine they're going to distribute those minutes a little bit more evenly amongst the bench, because it was pretty sporadic for a lot of them. They didn't play more than 15 minutes, I think, a lot of them. We're about to get this one underway, though. What's your take on the De'Aaron Fox wanting to part ways with the Kings? I don't think that's concrete. I just think it's... I think there's a lot of noise around it, of course. I don't necessarily think he's leaving. I just feel like it's a piece that the Kings want to get rid of, because they probably, Is Fox going to take him to another level? I'm not 100% sure. We're underway. Why the hell have I got the wrong stream up? I mean, I'm not complaining because the Hornets broadcast is pretty funny. But let me just get it up. Oh, wow. I'm a bit behind. Claxton got the rebound after it seems like both the Hornets and the Nets missed on their opening possessions. D'Lo gets inside and the layup is good. And we're underway for scoring in this game. The Nets, an early 2 on the board. D'Lo, unsurprisingly, he's been great for the Nets in his very sparing amount of games that he's played. A lot of 20-point games or something like that. Gibson got blocked by Claxton, and then we nearly fluffed it in transition. Johnson over the top. D'Lo ready to fire. That three's off. Claxton can't get the rebound, and Vasilicic will control it. A minute or so into the game. Smith's going to go down the middle. Spin move on Williams, and that's too easy. I expect him to be able to score a few buckets today. Obviously, an extended offensive load. With a lot of players out, he's now going to commit a foul because he's just bumped D'Lo into the backcourt. So that's something that they're going to need to be mindful of, because with the depleted rotation, I don't think they'll be too happy with committing fouls like that can place their key players in foul trouble. D'Lo, one hand flings it back into play. Claxton to Russell. Johnson in the corner for 3. That's too long. And a board by Bridges. He'll get it ahead to Okogie, who will drive on Russell and roll it back out to Smith, who drives in. There's another kick out, and Bridges is ready to shoot. That is off, though. That's a good look. He's going to need to hit plenty of those if they want to win this game. Johnson weaves past defenders and gets the 2 to go +1. It's a very good move to the rim. Defenders were no match there. Crossover on Micic, and then Gibson was only falling backwards and was always going to be reaching over if he wanted to contest. So a free throw here for Keon Johnson. The first of the game for the Nets. They did a great job of getting to the line the other night. 29 of those in the first 3 quarters, but that dried up in the fourth. And that's where their offense really hit a wall. 5-2 start for the Nets. Micic. Smith on the wing. Johnson has that assignment today, and that's a like for like. Micic guarded by Williams. Gibson rolls. That pass was nearly wayward. Bridges the extra to Smith with 3 to shoot. That is short, and a board by Williams. Russell is going to drive in again. And the layup, the soft touch. He's done a couple drive attempts exactly like that, and they've both come up successful. Smith. Okogie drives inside. Claxton the block. Russell the rebound. They'll push. Claxton picks up his dribble to the trailer in D'Lo. Drive in. Are they going to look for the lob? They are. And Claxton was not in the position to score that, but he made it work. And the Nets have a quick 9 points, nearly 3 minutes into the match. Okogie on the wing. Drive in. The Nets opt to not switch for that reason. Claxton another block. Johnson's going to push it again. He'll drive in. Change of pace. Blocked by Bridges. And the Hornets will go the other way with the exact same fashion. Fast. And pacey. They slow things up. Gibson lost the ball. Russell knocked it away. But the Hornets still gather. And Micic, stop. Turnover. Nets have a 2-on-2 fast break in their favor. Johnson with the beautiful rim graze. Or was he fouled? That is a very impressive bit of athleticism. I thought he was going too fast for his own good. The Nets playing well on both ends early in the game. 11-2 start for the Nets, and D'Lo's been a pretty big part of that. But Keon Johnson has been running the break very, very nicely so far. He leads the team for points with 5 early ones, and the backcourt for the Nets has started very, very strongly. Let me just get this updated. Claxton with a couple early blocks, which is always a wonderful sight. He's actually got 3 blocks, and we haven't, well, he's got as many blocks as minutes he's played. So I don't recall the last time Clax has gotten 3 blocks in a game, and here we are 3 minutes into the game with that exact output. I mean, the Hornets have started pretty poorly. 1 of 7, and they've turned the ball over a little bit too much out the gates. It says 1 turnover, but I'm pretty certain there's been a bit more than that. The Nets are 5 of 8. I mean, running the floor, scoring at the rim. I think nearly every single one of the points have come in the paint. D'Lo scored 2 buckets at the rim. Claxton scored an alley-oop lob. Johnson scored multiple buckets at the rim. So it's something that hasn't occurred nearly enough in the losing streak. And this really tough run of games that we've experienced in January. But to be honest, that well and truly has been not an issue in the game so far. 3.5 minutes in, of course, there is a lot of basketball to be played, but the Hornets definitely needed to call a timeout because they have been disjointed at best. That's probably the nicest way of putting it, because 1 of 7 shooting, getting blocked nearly every possession. The spacing is lacking. It's going to be really tough. This is what we've had to witness game after game. Game after game as a Nets fan in the last month or so, you know. A lineup looking as bad as that. To be honest, I don't think we've seen a lineup worse than that, though. In terms of, you know, talent and personnel. I mean, that bench is not pretty. And I'm pretty sure Salorn is not available. So they've only got 4 active players on their bench. And most of those have not been in the league for more than a season or 2. Like, steadily in the league for multiple seasons. So 11-2 start. Geordie will be very happy with what the Nets have done on both ends. So the Hornets need to get a couple buckets. I mean, very, very slow start. I'm accustomed to seeing this from a Nets standpoint. Micic, drive in, rolls it out. Okogie, extra, 1 more to Bridges. Good closeout by the Nets. And what? Where was the foul? I don't know where the foul was. It had to be after he landed, because it didn't look like there was any hack on the arm. So Bridges going to shoot a couple free throws. He is their key. Bridges usually has an absolute ball against the Nets, so I don't think he's going to be too phased. So Bridges at the free throw line, shooting 2 to double the Hornets' point total. He does so successfully. 11-4. Nets up by 7. Williams. Wilson. I reckon the Hornets have been told to tighten up their defense, that's for certain. Russell 1-on-1. Crosses up Micic. Kick out. Claxton's going to shoot a 3. Oh, God. Look, I'd rather he shoot it, in comparison to him not shooting the ball. Because he probably hasn't put up enough threes. Micic! Splash! And that is a welcome sight. I feel like he's a microwave scorer that can go off as well. He's a very good player, or has been in Europe. Williams drive on Gibson. That was blocked. Claxton batted it back out, and the Nets can recycle the opportunity. But Williams fumbles the dribble and has to put up a tough 3. And that's off. Micic. Out to Bridges. He's guarded by Claxton behind the back. Stop. And it went right through the legs of Gibson. So that was... Well, Gibson is like 40. The big man cannot get that far down. Ben Simmons is into the game. Russell off with Keon Johnson. So Simmons will play the point. It's been quite a few games since he's been out. The last 5 games and 10 of the last 14. With multiple injuries, illness, back issues, calf issues. But he is ready to go today. A conservative approach by the Nets. Wilson on the outside. Out to Tosin, who's also into the game. Kick out to Williams. And that 3 rims out. Simmons wasn't able to pass it off to the reinforcements under the basket after that miss. Okogie gestured for 3, but didn't shoot it. Smith going to try shake off Simmons. It's good defense, though. And Micic will receive the rollout. Off balance, out to Bridges in the corner. He had to fumble the handle, and then he airballed the 3. Oh, my God. So the Nets have been stopped in their tracks. After a good start, they've been held scoreless for a couple of minutes. Oh, that is so off the Nets. Lucky. So nearly halfway through this first quarter. I feel like it's gone very, very quickly. 11-7 start here. Not many free throws. Simmons surveying the floor from the right side. Claxton to Wilson on the left. Will drive in, but is well held by Seth Curry, obviously a former Net. They roll it back out to Tosin. We've got 2 to shoot. He's got to put one up. Gets rid of Micic and didn't hit the rim. Fucking hell, man. God, this could honestly be like a 90-90 final scoreline. I'm not even joking. Micic has been hit in the gut. He is very, very sore. Tosin obviously put his arm into him, and it looks like his ribs are a bit cooked. I have no idea. That is a phantom hit. It must have gotten him in the wrong spot. He is not in a good way right now. And that would just be another injury to add to the Hornets injury list if he can't play. Maybe he's just winded. Potentially. Looks like the Hornets are going to call a timeout. I don't know if that's like... That is a phantom injury. It looks like he's going down to the locker room, but that is not a good... That's not a good hit. That's got to hurt. Around the grounds, meanwhile, Toronto are beating Washington 16-2. So I think that's... well, that's fairly relevant for the way things are going with the tanking teams. That, of course, is very important. The way the Raptors are playing and whether their record improves or worsens. We obviously are going to keep a watchful eye on that. Pacers are up on the Pistons as well, 26-13, 28-13. It looks like Halliburton and Siakam have gotten off to a very, very good start. But with our game so far, I mean, after we started 5 of 8 from the field, a few turnovers have meant that percentage has dipped to 5 of 13. So we've missed our last 5 shots, have not hit a 3-ball yet. And the Hornets are 2 of 10. I mean, they are not playing particularly well either. And that is to be expected with the availability of their players. It's not ideal at all. Not at all. Looks like their bench extended. Because I swear there were only 4 players available before. But right now, the Nets looking... Well, they're leading. But they're looking like a team that probably doesn't want to win this, I think. Which is a weird dynamic, that's for sure. If you are enjoying so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Rockets. Not the next game, but the game after that. There's a double header. Or not a double header, but a back-to-back with the Rockets over 3 days. I reckon that's hit him in the ribs. There's no way that Tosin has just cracked the ribs of a player. If so, that is brutal. Damn, this is a bit crazy. The Nets are in the top 5 for free throw percentage. Not even when we had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, we were in the top 5. That's actually unreal. Because those two historically have been great free throw shooters. But the last time we were in the top 5 wasn't even the turn of the millennium yet. Or it just occurred. 11-7, Diabate is into the game, and so is Jeffries, and who is this guy? Simpson is going to shoot a 3. That's a bad miss. Simmons going to push. Simmons will go into the paint and then gets scared and kicks it out to Tosin, who hits the 3. So, I swear to God, every time Ben passes the ball, it only results in buckets, which is a very odd dynamic. Simpson is going to drive on Williams, who remains disciplined, but in doing so, he allows the runway to the rim. So 14-9. Claxton surveying the floor. Simmons backs down Diabate, the turnaround, and the 2 with the hook shot. Love that. 4.5 minutes to play. Bridges is given a bit of room, and he's going to hit that 3. The whiplash on that net was pretty crazy. It's a 4-point game. I think it's pretty obvious you got to guard Bridges the closest more than anyone else on the floor. That's their second 3 of the game. Simmons puts the head down, and he is playing very assertively on Diabate. He's hit another 2. And gets the lead back up to 6 for the Nets. They've led every step of the way so far. Hornets have not led. Bridges will drive on Claxton, who's played very good defense early. Bridges that 2 rims out, and there is a foul. It's waved off, and I think Diabate is a little bit stiff. I think Ben just was off balance and out of position. However, Diabate's been hit with the personal. Otherwise, it was going to be a pretty pedestrian dunk on the putback. Ben's being very, very physical early on in this game, which is nice to see. So 3:55 to play in this opening quarter. Nets will have the ball. Johnson's back in. So it looks like Watford's in the game, playing his first minutes in quite some time, quite a few weeks. Dayron is also into the game as well. So a few faces in the lineup that we didn't see. Simmons wanted a foul. Instead had it knocked away, and it's a turnover. Simpson, jab step 3. That's off. And it's a foul on this end. The Hornets end. Dayron Sharp, I believe, nudged Diabate under the ball. That's not legal. Whoops. 6 weeks since Watford's played. Pretty nuts. But he did play in the previous meeting. December 16, the last game he played. He's barely played this season, so finally suiting up. Simpson to Curry, who does have the ability to cook. He steps back for 2 over Simmons. That is off. Johnson with the springs in his legs. Skies in for the rebound. Simmons, bounce pass. Johnson. Oh my God, how has he missed the floater? He somehow got his own miss, though, and was able to score. He's got a fair bit of energy about him today at the rim. So an 8-point contest. The lead has not been in double figures as of yet, but it's hovered around this margin. Jeffries, blitzed. Diabate, there's an open three in the corner. It's Curry. Splash. Like, you cannot allow Curry to be open. The rotations have got to work out in such a way that three is not allowed, because, I mean, of all players to leave open, can't be Seth Curry. That's a shocking pass. It somehow ended up with Watford on the other end of the court as it lined the baseline. Simmons cuts to the rim, stops, and scores again with the right hand that's being responsible for his other 2 buckets. He's got 6 points in the game off the bench. Simpson down the middle. Tosin tried the knock away and then opened up room for Curry, who drove, kicked it out. That's got to be an offense. What? Where's the fucking charge at? Diabate stops. Oh, that's good footwork. I thought he'd trapped himself in a tight corner there, but somehow found a way out. I thought Dayron had done a good job of just sitting him under the basket in almost a graveyard spot. Dayron, good cut to the rim, and he scores over Diabate. I don't think we've hit a 3 in the whole game, except for Tosin, really. So we're doing things the hard way, but it's reaping rewards. It's been very efficient. Okogie's 3 is short. Tosin with the rebound. He's not going to offload the pass because Charlotte are gambling. Ben was ready for it with the backdoor cut, but Tosin went himself. He was, pretty overconfident in his abilities, and he hit that turnaround J as well. He's shown ability to do that. Pretty inconsistently, though. Curry, good rotations by the Nets. Diabate, I did not know he had that offensive capability in him to score the little push shot as well. Bounce pass to Watford. Gee, that's a quick move, and he's just lost the ball going up. Oh my god, that's clearly off you, mate. He's just let the ball trickle out of bounds. So, Hornets ball here. 26-19. Late in the first quarter, they can, it would have been a 2-for-1 execution for the Nets if they had scored on the Watford drive, but instead the Hornets will hold for a possession here. Curry, he's open. Good closeout by Johnson. Curry's 3 is off, and it's knocked out by the Hornets on that rebound. They were better positioned, but just didn't have the poise to get it all together. So the Nets can extend the lead to double figures if they're really feeling it. Russell has checked back in for that exact purpose, and it looks like Ben Simmons will sit down. So Tosin going to inbound to Russell, who's guarded in the backcourt by Wong, who's into the game. Feels like a my player. Russell, driving Okogie, picks up his dribble. Johnson for 3. That is, oh my god, that is fucking ridiculous. How the hell has he missed that? He's hit the top corner of the backboard. If that's even, I didn't know that was possible, but apparently anything is possible with this Nets team. However, they lead by 7 at the quarter time break, and it's fair to say that they went into the game with a much larger chance of winning. And I think that is only going to grow every quarter if they lead. Right now, though, Keon Johnson has 7 and 4 rebounds and 3 assists. I mean, he is stuffing the stat sheet in this first quarter. D'Lo's had a solid 4 points to his name, even though he's only played 4 minutes. What? Ben's played 7 minutes, apparently, which is a bit strange. I don't... You know what? I actually can believe that. Looks like they're really managing D'Lo, I think. The Nets are 1 of 7 from deep. However, they are 11 of 16 inside the three-point line. If they didn't shoot threes, they'd be shooting at an all-time rate. The Hornets are 7 of 22. They've hit 2 more threes than we have. However, free throws are lacking. Field goal percentage is well off. And overall, well, it's led to this scoring total. Ben Simmons has 6 off the bench. He only played the 6 minutes, but they were some pretty good effective minutes. I think really the wings have been a little bit missing in action, but the guard rotation and the centers have been well and truly involved. I think that's a really good sign because that is a huge piece of our play most times. We love the lobs and we love, giving the point guard increased responsibility, all the guards, and they've all gotten involved. The Hornets really don't have a lot going for them. I mean, Bridges has got 5. Diabate's got 4, but really outside of that, I mean, they're going to struggle. And look, I think the Nets would be, the Nets would probably be fined if they tried to match the Hornets for like the personnel, the skill level on the Hornets roster. If we try to match that with the amount of players we had out, I think we'd get caught out, I reckon. I think we'd get fined. Okay. So Jeffries is going to inbound. It looks like for the Nets, starting the second quarter, D'Lo only the 5 minutes in the first, so he will start the second out there with Tosin, Dayron, Trenton Watford, and Zaire Williams right now. Wong's got it here for the Hornets. Nick Smith's back in. He's got a little bit of room to shoot the 3, and that rims out. D'Lo's not boxing out. And Wong is going to kick it out to Bridges, who also has checked back in. 3 for Jeffries. That's too long, and a board by Sharp. Tosin to the corner for Watford. Gibson's back in. Dayron's going to shoot a 3. That's badly off, and to the point where D'Lo got a long rebound. That rimmed out, and Bridges was able to be on the end of that rebound. So he fakes the handoff and then gives it out to Smith. They'll send it to the weak side. Wong will drive the open side of the floor. That's a wild layup. It's off. Dayron with the board. Russell will push it ahead. Watford will drive in. The Euro. Beautiful. 28-19. Great running by the Nets, and it all started with D'Lo. Well, it actually started with Dayron getting that board and releasing it quickly. Gibson to Wong on the wing. Smith. Fake the pass to the corner. Tries to shake and bake on Russell. Knock away by Sharp. Clock running out. And Wong is short on the 2. It was an air ball. It would have been a shot clock violation regardless. Russell is going to use the Sharp screen, and now it's enforced the switch, and now Dayron will get it in the high post. He's guarded by Gibson on an island. He's going to back him down, and he's going to turn and shoot a fadeaway 2. What? It's a little bit questionable. Bounce pass out to Smith was a little bit ragged. Williams went under the screen and then allowed a wide open Smith 3, but he hasn't been able to hit a barn door early in this game. Another 3 offline. Russell the rebound. Well, Russell has it now. Watford. Drive in. Hangs. Got trapped under the basket. Dayron got the offensive board, and Tosin is off. Poof. This is tough. Shovels it out. Drive in. Kick out to Bridges. Top of the key. Smith is open, and he has not hit the rim again. The tank commander. Dayron, extra, back to Sharp. He's got a lot of room to shoot the 3s if he wants to from the top of the key. Williams. Oh, that's beautiful. And there's going to be a foul under the basket. I think Gibson just bowled Dayron Sharp over. Dayron was the collateral in all this. Looks like the Nets will get a free throw. Williams hit the 3. I don't know where Jeffries is looking. 1 pass away, so far off Williams, and Dayron is getting... Oh, he got absolutely poleaxed under the basket. So the Nets lead by 12. And Dayron's going to get this free throw attempt. Micic is back in the game. So that rib injury it's looked to be fully healed, I think. 31-19 the score. The Nets have scored, well, let's see what this free throw results in. It results in a make, and so the Nets have scored 6 in the second quarter. The Hornets are yet to score. Such has been the case of the Hornets' offensive performance so far today. They've really struggled. Bridges guarded by Sharp on the outside. Bridges the cross. Doesn't look remotely interested in attacking the basket until then, and he scores with the right hand. That's impressive. Simmons is back in. So we've got Simmons, Russell, Sharp, Wilson, and he who shall not be named in the corner because I can't see him, Williams. Good screen by Ben, who rolls, shoots with the right, doesn't get the bounce. Sharp gets the rebound, and then wasn't able to score in traffic. He had 2 men hanging off him. The Nets gamble on a steal and leave a man open in the corner, who then drives in, rolls it out to Smith. Acceleration, great work by D'Lo with the active hands. He's been pretty good at that today so far. And that drive was never, well, the ball was never able to actually be thrown up at the rim because Smith was stripped as he drove it. So, Hornets ball. Ball thrown in by Micic to Wong. Micic drives down the middle. No look. There's a foul. Diabate, the man who will be the man rewarded. Dayron, I think, hit with the personal, and that's a fucking bailout because there were 3 seconds on the clock. It would have been a pretty tough layup had there not been a foul introduced. So Diabate at the free throw line. I don't know how good of a percentage he shoots the ball. First one is converted. Second one, no good. Lead at 10. 4 minutes gone into this second quarter so far. It's been a pretty quick-paced match. That's good defense by Wong. He is hanging off Russell. But Russell did well to gather. That's a good take. What a look by Dayron Sharp. Beautiful bounce pass into Williams. I thought he lost it going up, but was able to remain composed for just long enough. Bridges forced into a kick out, which seems to be a constant theme today. Bridges, step back 3. He completely lost Wilson. But that was, well, the trajectory was off. Simmons, pass intended for Williams, but Sharp got in the way. Big key to the game so far, in this match so far, the Nets have 26 paint points. Now, for context, the other day, the Nets only had, let me have a quick look. Paint points the other day against the Kings. We scored 96 total, but 38 points in the paint. We aren't even halfway through this second quarter, and we've already got 26. So we're well on pace to exceed that mark. I mean, 60 is usually the number that oppositions have been putting up against us when we lose to them, and it seems like that is a number that we are pushing onwards towards with the way this game has gone so far. Not much 3-point shooting, but attacking the rim, I mean, it's been a point of strength for the team so far. The lead is 12, and even though the Nets haven't really packed a huge punch in this second quarter, the Hornets have not been close to ideal shooting the ball. They are 8 of 31 and 3 of 16 from downtown. Turning the ball over, they've been pretty good at looking after it, but there's really no consolation with if you're shooting the ball that badly. I mean, the Nets aren't shooting it above 50%. Their 3-point percentage is really tanking their overall field goal percentage. But whenever they attack the paint, they are doing a very, very good job of scoring the ball. And if they miss, they are getting offensive rebounds, which is always of great assistance. D'Angelo Russell looks like he's propelling himself towards a triple-double, depending on how many minutes he plays. I mean, he's already played or only played 9 minutes. But a number of nets have really gotten involved scoring-wise so far. Simmons has got the 6. Williams got the 5. And Keon Johnson is our top scorer on 7. So with nearly every net on the board points-wise, I think that's going to be a great advantage to us. Dayron Sharp with the 5 rebounds already, and you already know that a bunch of those have probably come from the offensive end. He does love generating a good second chance. I don't know how many offensive rebounds he's averaging, but he is a beast when that occurs. So, lead is at 12. The lead was 7 at quarter time, but the Nets are slowly expanding on that with every passing minute because the Hornets cannot shoot the ball for their life. And such is the case when you're playing a lineup with bums on the floor. Wilson, looks like the Hornets are playing a zone. There's going to be open shots. Johnson, drive in, over the shoulder. That's a shocking pass to Wilson, and he's going to have to shoot a 3 out of rhythm, and it's off. Micic, Wong. Hand off to Bridges in the corner. There's no spacing there. So Bridges is going to have to make it work himself. Picks up his dribble, lost the ball. Johnson knocked it away. Simmons surveying the floor in transition. He picks up his dribble. He finds Wilson in the corner, who's going to drive it in. Kick out to Williams. I thought he traveled. Johnson, 3. That is short. And the board by Bridges knocked to Micic. Nearly at the halfway point of this second quarter. Diabate the kick out. Bridges, extra. Good passing by the Hornets. The drive, the lob. It was on, but they went for the shot instead, and it stunted the rhythm. Johnson, Sharp's going to shoot a 3. In the corner, splash! I don't know if Dayron's better at corner threes or threes from the top of the key. Micic, good drive in and a make. Finally for the Hornets. 5 points in a half of a quarter is not great viewing at all. Simmons is going to back down Diabate again. He lost the ball, but he's going to try that again. What? Micic is sore. Zaire Williams has been hit with an offensive foul. Looks like Dayron's 3 was actually a deep 2 because that point's been taken away. Micic looks very, very sore trying to navigate through that screen. Simmons right into the exact same spot as he was setting the screen. That is brutal. Simpson's back in the game for the Hornets. So is Okogie and Seth Curry. Wong is going to shoot a 3. Hits it. It's back down to 9. Williams tried the backdoor cut. That was well read. Simmons looking for the pass. Claxton's back into the contest. Williams. Johnson. This is great defense by the Hornets. Johnson down the middle. Forces the issue. And there's the foul. I'll tell you what, Wong was doing a very good job on Claxton under the basket because we would have probably sent it to him, but Clax is infamous for not being able to maximize mismatches in the post because he's just built like a twig. So Keon Johnson at the free throw line. He's been impressive so far. Team high in points right now. And Johnson hits a free throw to get it back up to double figures. And Johnson makes both. It is now an 11-point game. Diabate is playing some extended minutes. Okogie had an opportunity to 3. He drove it in and tried to manufacture some space. Good work by Simpson, who hangs and wasn't able to complete the job at the rim. He did everything right. 2 more free throws here, this time for the Hornets. That's a bit of a bailout. Bit of a bailout because 3.5 seconds on the clock. 2 free throws here, though. Simpson at the line. That one is in. Simpson makes both. Watford's back in. Tosin is in. So wholesale changes. This is a lineup we haven't seen before. Watford playing the point. Johnson. Surveying. Oh, for fuck's sake. What the hell was that? Kickball violation. They took a long time to call that. Couldn't be any clearer of a kickball. Wilson will inbound to Claxton. Don't know about the scoring with this lineup. There's another foul. Looks like Okogie is going to get hit with the personal, so... $38-29. Watford, that's a very unorthodox pass to Johnson. To the corner for Tosin. Shows the ball. Claxton a deep 2. Splash! Feel like he's becoming a specialist at those grenades late in the clock. There's another foul. Keon Johnson is adamant that he has done absolutely nothing there. Simpson's got more free throws headed his way. Unless the Nets are feeling like they want to challenge that. That one goes clank. One more to follow. And the second's good. 40-30. Hornets have struggled to get to that mark, but they eventually do get there. Tosin, the spin, picks up his dribble. I don't know how he didn't travel. That pivot foot remained planted. Now, Johnson to the corner. Tosin has the space. 3 is off. There's a battle. They get it ahead. Diabate lost the ball. And Johnson was the last line of defense, and he did a pretty good job averting the threat. But there will be free throws again for Diabate this time. So Hornets getting free throws in bunches in the last couple minutes. So 2 more free throws again. God, that's shocking. Seth Curry comes back in. Looks like Russell's also going to return. With Zaire Williams, Watford and Johnson make way. 3:50 to play in the second. Diabate splits 2. And it's back to 9 again. As I said, it has hovered at this margin for basically the entire second quarter, that's for sure. Diabate's manning the middle. They're playing that zone defense. Russell, guarded by Curry. This is tight defense. Cross court to Williams. Clack set the screen to free him up. It didn't work. Curry to the corner. Curry cross court to Okogie. Well read as the pass was sent to the corner. Russell gets it ahead. Williams with the completion. We're getting a timeout. And D'Lo is the manufacturer, the creator of that two-pointer right there for the Nets. That was lovely, lovely work. D'Lo getting in the path of the ball. And then the no-look to Zaire, who had leaked out and anticipated the play quicker than anyone else. Okogie took too long to turn his body, and Williams, well, was too far gone by that point. So the Nets lead by 11. It hasn't been a convincing quarter, but they still are outscoring the Hornets by 4 in the period. Interestingly enough, no net in double figures so far, but nearly every single player has scored a couple buckets or more. D'Lo has got 4-4 going. Connect 4, some would say. 2 steals and a block as well. So he's playing a very well-rounded game so far for the Nets. 7 to Williams. Interesting. Dayron's got 5 and 6. He could be on for another double-double, depending on the minutes distribution, I do believe. And Keon Johnson with a team-high 9 points, which I think that comes as a pleasant surprise. 2 of 15 from 3, the Nets. I mean, that is just a ghastly number. It's somehow worse than the Hornets, but look, only 10 made field goals for the Hornets in the first half. Their free throw number is keeping them in the game, especially in the last couple of minutes. Simpson and Diabate getting to the line and doing a good job of it. They account for 80% of the free throws the Hornets have gotten. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to need to see a lot more. I don't know how many points they're going to score in this game. They're probably going to limp their way to 80, 85 points, and I wouldn't be remotely surprised if the Nets do the same. But, look, I think the Nets, this game, are getting the balance right in terms of knowing, like, they're taking a lot more 2s than 3s, and that's really helping their total out. They're 16 of 25 inside the 3-point arc. So while the free throws haven't been there, it's the efficiency of those 2s which are really helping this team out. So yeah. So 3:09 to play. We do not have long left in this opening half. And so, yeah, the Nets are doing a pretty good job. Pretty good job. So far. I mean, the offense is never going to be, sunshines and rainbows. Especially from 3. Only 2 threes and a half of basketball is pretty nuts. But I mean, this is like a welcome to the 90s moment, because that's probably the way the game was played in the 90s. Not many threes. Bridges hangs and misses the 2 off one leg. Russell gets it ahead to Wilson. Kick out to Tosin. Gets by the closeout. Hangs. Oh, that's a very bad pass. And D'Lo's had to get creative, and it somehow worked. Tosin. Off one leg. Doesn't get the bounce, but gets the whistle. And it'll be more free throws here. So, a couple more looks for the Nets. They are scoreless. He is scoreless, Tosin, at the free throw line in this game. Got to the line for a couple trips last game. These will be the 5th and 6th free throws for the Nets, and Tosin makes the first. The Nets are yet to miss a free throw in the game thus far. 2:35 to play here in the second. And both go down. So up to 13. I don't think it's actually been a larger lead in this game. Simpson looking for Bridges. That's denied by Claxton. It seems that's been an assignment that the Nets have looked towards today. Matchup-wise, Bridges has to try Cook, and that was always going to be a tough 3. Oh my God. How is that a foul, man? Very, very soft foul. Claxton, I think, jumped into the shooter, and that's not smart because Simpson would have had to. What? What? How the fuck is that a foul? There was nothing in that. Bridges has well and truly not rocked up to the party. This season, he's been a substandard player. And I know that because I've been watching him like a hawk given he's in my fantasy team. And he's been just shit for much of the season percentage-wise. Simpson makes 2 for 2. And he will now play defense on D'Angelo Russell. 2:10 to play. Wilson had the chair taken out from underneath. I do not think that was a foul for the record. 44-33. I think the Nets are in the bonus. Oh, that's just fucking hell. How is that even a foul? So Wilson's just going to get some freebies at the free throw line. Get some handouts from the league. First one's good. Wilson makes both. 2 minutes to play in this first half now as we close in on the halftime break. The Hornets have the basketball, but it's back tapped by Williams. The Nets get the steal. Wilson hangs and scores for 2. No interior presence with Simpson, who was the man who committed the turnover and thus was responsible for giving up the 2. The lead's 15. Bridges. Switch. Drive in. Bridges. Does well to muscle his way to the basket. Had Claxton off balance. Opened up the airspace for him to get up a 2. And so now the Nets will wind things down. 80 seconds left. What the hell happened there? Tosin lost his footing. Simpson got removed from the play, and then there was a block involved as well. $1:14 a play. We got 8 seconds left on the clock for the Nets. Once we return from the timeout. 1:14 a play. Just heard a stat over the broadcast. The Nets have not held a team to a lower total of points at all this season, except for a game we played against Indiana. That was a game we held the Pacers to 35 points and 90 in total. That was the last time we won at home. And I'm willing to bet that happened about 4 to 6 weeks ago. It was a long time ago. But right now, the Nets have basically replicated their second quarter efforts. I mean, they've held the Hornets to 16 points. The Nets have 22 of their own. Between points, we've outscored them by 6 this quarter, 7 in the previous. We haven't played like incredibly eye-catching basketball, incredibly flashy basketball. We've only got the 48 points to our name, but when we've run, it's very satisfying to watch. Fast break points, they've only scored 1 fast break point, and I'm willing to bet it was that Diabate free throw. The Nets at 14 fast break points. Williams got to get it in. Got to get it in. And we're going to call another fucking timeout. So we're going to need to hold for another few seconds. But you know what? It gives me a great opportunity to just go back to the box score and see what's up. As you can see, not one player on the court is in double figures right now. Difference is, I mean, the Hornets have nearly made as many free throws as they have field goals in the first half. It has been that diabolical of a showing from the field. Been a low turnover game. Nets are shooting the ball just a little bit under 50%. 3-pointers, as I said, they are not improving. We've hit 2 threes the whole game. But the interior presence has been, well, a lot more efficient than whatever the hell we've been doing on the perimeter. Johnson has a team high 9 points. And for the Hornets, Bridges has 9 as well. But his 9 points have not come nearly as efficiently as the Keon Johnson 9 points. So that is the situation as it stands. D'Lo has played a very busy and quiet first half at the same time. Like, those stats wouldn't indicate he's been all that involved, but it does feel like he's had a pretty large bearing on the game. I mean, those 2-pointers have a lot more weight, given we can't hit a 3 for dear life. We do get the ball in. Tosin is doubled. D'Lo shoots a late 3 on the clock. That's an air ball. So, inside the final minute, those 2 timeouts were for absolutely nothing. Smith, drive over the shoulder. Simpson, 3. No. Claxton the board. And he's well held up by Smith. So he has to offload it to Tosin. Through the legs. Fancy. Then lost the ball. Not so fancy. And they can go for a 2-for-1 here, the Hornets. Okogie's going to go very early and completely removed Claxton from the play. That's a smart move. 33 seconds left in this second quarter. The Nets are going to hold for 1 good possession off the back of not having a couple of great possessions on the previous 2 plays. Russell is going to set that screen or use that screen. And now the switch. He's doubled. Beautiful bounce pass. It opens up the shooter in the corner, and Wilson hits the tray with 12 seconds on the clock in the first half. Hornets will hold for 1. There's the double. Smith lost the ball. He got his feet in a muddle, and then it was knocked out of bounds with 4.5 seconds on the clock. But the Hornets made an absolute meal of that. Nick Smith walked himself into a world of trouble. And so the Nets can extend this lead to a game-high margin if they can end up with a make here. But it'll be Tosin inbounding on the baseline. That's not usually a great spot to get it in from. Russell, step back 3. Oh, we had the Charlotte defender decked. Claxton with the putback dunk with 0.1. And that summarizes what has been an incredibly frustrating half for the Hornets. That moment right there could not be any more frustrating if you're a Hornets fan. 2 Hornets under the rim weren't able to rebound the ball. I think Bridges actually dunked it for the opposition. Yep. I don't even think that was Claxton's bucket. He probably is going to get credited for it, but that's the halftime break, and the Hornets have been held to a measly 37 points. I mean, I don't think they've necessarily been held to that total because they're lacking a fair bit of firepower, but the Nets have a very good end to that second quarter, and they have doubled their lead. They lead by 16 points heading into the second half, and this could be the first net win since that win against the Blazers. I think that would have happened it happened 15 days ago, so it's been a long wait. And then the game before that, it was the 3rd of January. So we've had to wait a long time between wins, but I'm not saying that's going to happen today, but I'd say it's very, very likely the way things are looking at the moment. It just is very difficult to see the Hornets getting a W. I mean, Micic hasn't been able to be on the floor for like more than a few minutes at a time since that rib injury occurred. And Miles Bridges isn't playing a particularly efficient game, which is exactly what they need in the second half. The Nets end up shooting 21 of 46. And if I do the quick math for you, well, I can tell you for a fact that that is a lot better than whatever the hell the Hornets are shooting. They are shooting 46, I'll round up, 46% from the field, which is a pretty good mark. The 3-point percentage is not something I want to look at. It is at 17%. But, I mean, they've been pretty good at the free throw line and have matched the Hornets in that regard. The Hornets have not been good shooting the ball themselves from 3, and they've been just as bad on the interior as well. You know, so there hasn't really been any respite for them. The Nets have had very good rim protection. They've already got the 5 blocks to their name. And so basically the Nets are in a pretty comfy spot right now. I mean, the Nets have got how many players? 7 players with 5 points or more. And D'Lo isn't even one of those. So look, it's been a pretty successful first half, I'm gonna say. And holding a team to 37 points, well, that tells you 2 things. It tells you the team's shit that you're playing. And it says that you haven't played down to the opposition, because that is always an issue. That can be an issue that seeps in, especially like you can get very complacent. But so far haven't seen that. We've been pretty clinical with the way we've played. Interestingly, not even any player has entered double figures on both teams, and I don't know the last time that would have occurred, but doesn't really surprise me at all. The rebounding, we're out rebounding them by 8. The offensive rebounds are in our favor, 7-4, and the turnovers are pretty dead even. It's been pretty free flowing basketball. It's just the shots aren't going in. Hornets are 30% from the field. That is ghastly. Jesus Christ. I thought we shot the ball bad last game, but the Hornets are one-upping us. I don't think we've had a game we've shot that badly from the field and 3. Points off turnovers really haven't been all that punishing. The fast break points are the big one, though, 14 points to 1. And the points in the paint, we have doubled their total, 32-16. So I think in the second half, if we can get that split right, of maybe, if we can end up with 55, 60 points in the paint, I think we're going to well and truly win this. If that dries up in the second half and the shot profile changes a little bit, I think we could let them back in, purely because of the fact we have not shot the 3 ball well ourselves. And I can so see the Hornets getting back into it. And, you know, if you miss threes, you encourage long rebounds, and on top of that, you also encourage, you know, teams to play with pace. And the Hornets with 1 fast break point are going to look to emphasize that in the second half for sure. So that is really what I have to say off the back of this first half. I mean, I don't even think, if we took our players out, I don't think we could have played as bad as the Hornets. Bottom line, I don't think if we benched Simmons and D'Lo today, we were gonna be as bad as this. I don't think. D'Lo's been a pretty big piece, even though he's only got the 4 points. He's had a couple steals, a block, and the 4 assists, which of course account for a good chunk of points, whether they are direct or indirect. Whether he's had a direct or indirect impact. But I don't think we're 16 points worse off. I think the Hornets are, like, a lot of it's out of our control. Hornets, obviously we are the same amount of games back, in case you've missed it, to the, what's the word? The infamous number 1 draft pick odds, even though the top 3 have the same odds. So a win today for the Nets would probably hurt them a little bit, but I don't think as much as we think, because Toronto are smacking the Wizards right now. So that is, of course, going to be of a great, that's going to be of great assistance to us, I do think. They are struggling. The Wizards, man, they are awful. I don't understand how they can be that shit. Like shooting 34% from the field and 13% from 3. Like, that is just, I don't understand how you can be that trash. Meanwhile, the Pacers are beating the Pistons. That's completely unrelated, but Halliburton and Siakam have 20 each in the first half. And McConnell's got 14 off the bench. Could not be, like, in any more different of a world, to be completely honest. Let's have a look. Kings. The Kings are beating the Sixers. There's not too many games that are relevant to the tank today, except for the Pelicans. They are playing Dallas. And the Pelicans, who do they have available? Zion, McCollum, Murray, Trey Murphy. So they don't have Herb Jones, but they do have Zion. No Ingram, of course. But that squad is very capable of beating good teams. And I think the Pelicans, where are they? What is their record in the last bunch of games? Well, they won 5 of 6 in a row. They won 7 of 10 in a row. 7 of 10. But they've lost their last 3 ever since there was a game that was postponed, and that was the Bucks. The Bucks matchup. I think that was because there was like heavy storms or something. I don't know. But the Pelicans have well and truly lifted their record in the last, month. So I don't know what their record is like moving forward. You know what? Let's have a quick look and let's see what have these teams behind us got. So teams trailing us right now: Charlotte, New Orleans, Utah. I'm not even giving a shit about the Wizards because they are just crap. New Orleans and Charlotte are going to be the biggest watch. Especially Charlotte, because no LaMelo, no Brandon Miller for the season. And as I said, they are missing a bunch of players. Let's have a look. God, the Pelicans have a shocking run of games, man. So many back-to-backs. They play Denver back-to-back, Sacramento back-to-back, San Antonio back-to-back, Phoenix back-to-back, and Houston back-to-back. They don't have an easy game in a long time. A long time. You know what? Honestly, for the rest of the season, they do not have an easy game. They play Charlotte once. They play us once. They play Detroit twice, if you could even count that. They play Utah once. Depending on how much firepower they have, they potentially can steal a few as the underdog, but I don't like the chances there, to be honest. That could be a little bit of an issue because they probably had a lot of winnable games earlier in the season when they were already depleted. As for the Hornets, they've got Washington in a few games. That could be winnable. They've got us in a couple of weeks. They've got Portland later in February. They play us again. They play Washington again. They've got Atlanta a couple of times. And they've got Toronto twice. So the Hornets have a lot of winnable games against the bottom 5. Depending on how healthy they are, that could change things. So yeah, that's the situation. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Houston Rockets next week. Not the weekend match. We are going to cover the one after that. Just not available to be in front of my computer. So that is the situation. Yeah, the Hornets are fucking trash. This is what gets me though. A lot of like Twitter accounts, right? Just want us to lose every fucking game, bro. You're not going to go 0 of 34 for the rest of the season. It's just not a fucking feasible thought process. Like, that's just mental to me. I can't really understand that thought process. Who gives a shit if you win 4 of 30, bro? Like, fuck. Like the Wizards. If we beat the Wizards twice, I don't think anyone's going to lose sleep. Because I don't think you can top being the Wizards. The Wizards are crap. They are so bad. You wouldn't be able to be as shit as they are. That's just the reality, right? a game today against the Hornets, you can fucking rest every player you want. You're not going to control the Hornets shooting the ball this badly because of the players they have available. That's an organizational issue that is like an external factor. It's not, you can't control that. It's not possible. That's what does my head in, man. If we beat a good team, well then, of course, then that's a little bit of an issue because that's probably one you shouldn't have won. Those are the games you need to eliminate if you're tanking. You don't want to beat I don't know. If we had have beaten the Lakers a few weeks ago, that wouldn't have been a good output for us. Or a good outcome. Because that's a game you should have lost heading into the match. Playing players like Tosin and Clowney and Jalen Wilson, like the goal there shouldn't have been to beat the Lakers. We nearly did. But there's so many Twitter people saying like, and you're entitled to your opinion and whatnot. I'm not overly cut about that. It's just the fact that you try to, I don't understand that thinking to just want to lose every single game. You have the same odds as the number one worst record. We're going to have the same... If we're in the bottom three for odds, we're going to have the same odds as a team like the Wizards they will probably end up 10 to 12 wins worse than us. Probably. And that's just a bold guess. It's not going to hurt if we win a game or two. I really don't think it is going to hurt. Anyway, second half is about to get underway. 53 to 37. Are the Hornets going to exceed 80 points? I think that's going to be an interesting watch. Interesting little game. Oh my God. All right. Second half action. I'm interested to see what version of the Nets we get in this second half because we cannot play four quarters for our life. If we can consistently outscore the Hornets by 6 or 7 by a quarter or not lose a quarter, I'm going to be pretty happy with the performance today. I don't want the 3/4 time scoreline to be under 10. That's what I want. So, alrighty. So, second half about to begin. God, that Hornets arena looks empty. Not many courtside. Of course, people are coming back from their halftime break activities. Nets starting 5, the same as it were to start the game. Bridges. Smith, cross court to Micic, who's had a quiet game. He's barely played. To be honest, he drives in, picks up his dribble. Gibson's going to have to shoot with the right, and that is misdirected. Rebound, Russell surveys the floor. Going to call out a set. Wilson to Williams. Now Claxton looking for the handoff. He'll give it back to Russell, who's guarded by Bridges. Oh, what a lob! Claxton wasn't able to complete the play. But that was a great find. I don't know how Clax did not finish that one off because that was on a platter. I don't know if he got slapped on the arm or something along those lines. 11:15 to play in the third quarter. Just a little bit under a minute elapsed. Claxton at the free throw line for his first trip today, and he makes the first. So, one more free throw. Oh, God. You just knew that free throw release was not going to result in a make. It's up to 17, a game-high margin. Micic. Screen. Another screen. And he steps into a three. And that one rims out. Gibson with the offensive rebound. He'll roll it back out to Smith, who will drive and kick it out to Okogie for three. That is off. It's just... Miss after miss after miss after miss. Johnson the drive. And Gibson gets the swat. I thought I heard a whistle. Micic the kick out. Extra to Bridges. He'll drive in and switch. And Smith will ping it cross court. And now it'll go back where it started. Bridges with the right. And he does well on the baseline to score that one for 2. He's going to need like a 30-point second half for them to have remotely a chance of winning. Russell, blitzed. Williams is thus open for 3. And he knocks that one down. That's tray number 2 for the match for Zaire. Smith, he's going to shoot a moving 3. And that rims out. But Okogi's there for the putback. And it looks like Zaire was the man responsible for not boxing the man out. So, Hornets got a couple points on the board. Williams change of direction. Pump fake. Blocked again by Gibson. So a couple blocks here to start the second half for Taj Gibson. Ball's triggered in. Claxton backs down Okogie. He's got the size. Draws in 2. Johnson's open for 3. And that is not converted. So the Hornets can get into this deficit a little bit. Smith out to Bridges. Cross court to Micic, who will drive on Johnson. Creates space and steps back, but is short. And Johnson protects the area. And gets it ahead to Russell, who's going to go early in the clock. Beautiful bounce pass to Claxton. He snuck in behind the defensive line and converted. It could not be any easier for Claxton. Russell creating. Oh, that was just beautiful. Beautiful pocket pass. Claxton with the block gives Gibson a taste of his own medicine. It's a 2-on-1 break. And Wilson, of course, is going to hold things up. Claxton neglects Johnson on the outside for a drive attempt of his own. And he's going to get a whistle headed his way. And Gibson is going to be called with the foul. I don't know why my eye is playing up. So strange. D'Lo, that's just such a flashy pass. You'll love to see it. 6 blocks? Oh no, I thought... Wait, there's no fucking way Claxton has 6 blocks. We're going to need to check that. I just heard 6 blocks. I reckon the Nets have 6 blocks. There's no way. Looks like Gibson, the old fart's going back to the retirement home because Diabate's into the game. They gave Gibson 3 minutes. He got a couple blocks and then pissed off. And Claxton has made 3 or 4 at the line, so that's pretty above average. Okay. Bridges. Drive in. Oh my god. I thought they had called a goaltend. Claxton reckons it's not a goaltend. Nah, I would not challenge that. That looked on the way down. It looked like it had hung in the air for so long. That's close. No, it's on the way down. Just. Clax nearly had another block. So, gee, that's well done defensively on Russell. But Russell created the space. He eventually got it given to him. 8 to shoot. Now finds himself switched. Johnson has a lot of space. He took a dribble for no fucking reason. Blew the rhythm. And the Hornets rake in the rebound. That's a shocking pass. Nearly was thrown out of bounds, but Okogie with the save. Jab step, drive, kick out. Micic faked the pass, and then passed it to Okogie in the dunker spot. Well played. So back down to 16. It's remained at this deficit for the majority. The Nets have gotten it out to 20 a couple of times, and then the Hornets with a couple quick buckets in response. Claxton facing the basket, looking for Williams. In another switch. Beautiful feed. Wilson 3. Money. Williams with a bit of whiplash on that pass. Bit of a wind up, and then Micic just lost the dribble, and Johnson hangs, gets the bucket, and one. More fast break points for the Nets. And there's a timeout as well, so Johnson will shoot a free throw after the break. The lead is at a game-high 21, I do believe, and the Nets are looking well in control. Danny, welcome back to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. This is a good side, a welcomed side, I think, to be up by 21. I'm just going to relish this because this just doesn't happen. It hasn't happened for weeks. I haven't actually streamed a win since that Bucks game a few weeks ago. Since the start of the month. I've gone a whole month without seeing a win on stream. And now we've got 4 Nets in double figures. Claxton has 11, 6 rebounds, and 4 blocks to his name so far in this game. D'Lo, with an unorthodox stat line for him. I'm used to seeing him racking it up in the scoring column. But today it's been a little bit of something different. 7 boards, a team high, and 6 assists, a team high. Johnson's got the 11. Wilson's hit 10 points surprisingly efficiently. And Zaire Williams with a couple of threes as well. He's cracked double figures as well. And there's potential for more players to do the exact same thing. Bridges, the only Hornet in double figures. And, well, he's scored half of their points as well so far in this second half. They are really struggling. They are really struggling. We only hit 2 threes in the first half. And here we are with more threes than the Hornets. It's crazy. We've hit more free throws than them now. Claxton's gotten to the line for a couple trips in this second half. And that has propelled us ahead of them in that category as well. And even though the Hornets have improved shooting the ball, I do think, still, it's been pretty tough going for them. That's for sure. But yeah, the Nets, I mean, they needed this, I think. I think the players needed this because there's been... I can't imagine how difficult it would be to be on a team that's just winning a game every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I've just seen a tweet and it really sums up what I was saying before. Yeah, the Nets are playing D'Lo, Ben Simmons, etc. tonight, but I'm not sure they could have dumbed down their lineup enough tonight to lose to this Hornets team. Like, this team is hot garbage. Like, I could almost pass as an NBA player on, like, I'd slot in perfectly with this Hornets team. D'Lo could honestly have a double-double for rebounds and assists. The way this is going. 7:06 to play in this third quarter. Been a pretty quick 5 minutes, I would say. So, oh, whoops. It's a free throw for Johnson. I forgot about that. And he hits that one too. So, 7 minutes to play. Third quarter. The lead is a game-high 22. Bridges, guarded by Wilson. 1-2 with Micic. He's just going to try his luck from the outside and hit back iron. Rebound by Claxton. Nope. It went straight to Micic. And they'll get another go. I don't know if that's going to better or worsen their shooting percentage. Smith, kick out. Micic, in rhythm. Splash. That was timely because, mate, if they didn't get that offensive rebound, I mean, that lead is potentially expanding to something even more ghastly. 67-48 the score. Nearly at the halfway point of this third quarter, and the Hornets haven't even cracked 50 points yet. We've got 4 to shoot, and Ben's just received it in the post. He's got to put one up. Fade away too, and it's been waved off. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would, like, Clax, what the hell was that decision making right there? To just grenade it to Ben Simmons of all players. He can't create his own shot with a full 24, let alone with 4 seconds on the clock. It's just not very aware. So, 67-48. Micic. Back to Bridges. Top of the key. He's guarded by Williams. Bit of space to move. Drive. Claxton, another block. Number 5. Like, when it's this predictable because Bridges is like the only guy that can create. Well, Bridges has another open 3 and he's missed that one too. It's just so easy to anticipate. Curry. Micic. Traveled. So, the Hornets still under 50 points. God, this is just... I don't think the Hornets are going to crack 80. The way they are playing right now, they've got how many points? 11 in the quarter. They're going to struggle. Williams. Looking for Simmons in the post again. He wants it. There's the lob. Oh, Ben, what the hell were you doing? He had a field of space. Micic, another 3, that's short. He had a field of space and he tried to tap it out to the perimeter. I mean, it's a team first play, but sometimes you got to be selfish. Wilson, screen by Claxton. Williams to the corner for Tosin. He's going to use that screen. Spin move. Hangs and gets another whistle. I don't really know where the foul was there, but I'm going to take those every day of the week. 5 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Tosin with another trip at the free throw line. He's been very, very busy. Very busy. So 5 minutes to play in the third. And there's the first one converted. (68-48) the score. Oh, that one goes clank. So Tosin misses his first free throw of the game. Simpson's back in. 5 on the floor for the Nets right now. Watford's just checked back in. So Watford, Wilson, Williams, WWW, Ben Simmons, and Tosin. Curry pulls up. And that one's short. Diabate, the board, he didn't score. And there's another foul. And they've called a hit on the arm. I don't know who the fuck the foul's on. God, that is a gift because Diabate's touch at the rim was cooked there. But when you're up 20, there's no need to exhaust the challenge. Jordi Fernandez would be the kind to do exactly that, but Diabate at the free throw line, a shooter pair. There's one. .440 to play in this third quarter. One more. And that one rims out. The rebound. Off hands. Bridges gets it. He gets the foul and gets it to go. Useless boxing out. That's fucking useless. How the hell did we not get the rebound there? Wilson and Tosin, mate. It was a fucking gamble and you fucking spoilt each other trying to get that ball. So they just get a 4-point play out of absolutely nothing. Ben is going early. Oh my God. It's a foul on the floor. A blocking foul on Diabate, I think. And... oh, you're kidding. Oh, for fuck's sake. I think the Hornets are challenging this call for what was initially a blocking foul because Ben was going like a steam train at the basket. So Hornets potentially can gather some momentum from that little 4-point play that they created on that previous play or that previous sequence. If they can win the challenge here, that's going to help them tremendously. They have a chance to cut into this deficit some more. But every time they've gotten it down to 16, the Nets have always had a little bit of a response. Just heard that Dayron Sharp is now out of the game with, you guessed it, hamstring tightness. More fucking hamstrings. We need to start like a GoFundMe for hamstrings, bro, because the amount of hamstring injuries this organization has seen this year is just out of hand, really. Really out of hand. So, yep. Such is the case of being a Nets fan right now. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. What the hell? Porzingis is 26.5. That's a bit mental. Just a bit. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. And subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Rockets next week. We won't be doing the game away from home this week against the Rockets. We'll be doing the one after. So if you want to stay notified for that game, make sure to tune in. D'Lo is absolutely trash. What has made you say that? D'Lo's been nothing but, I'd say he's been our best player since he got traded here. Like, undisputed, honestly. Like, that's crazy. I cannot. You're probably trolling, but yep, it's a blocking foul. Diabate's just, well, he's gone for a reach. Ben Simmons at the free throw line. This is going to be interesting. The Hornets have lost their challenge. It's not like they were probably going to use it. Two shots for Ben. Like the assertiveness. And Ben makes the free throw. There you go. Love that. Is that Andy Roddick in the crowd? It is. I'm actually amazed that I knew that. And Ben's second free throw is off, unsurprisingly. So he's got the Claxton touch right there. So Williams, Wilson, Watford, Tosin, and Ben the 5. Oh, great change of direction. Oh my God. Where is the foul there? Bridges has gotten 2 and 1s to go his way in the last 2 minutes. He's bringing himself back, or he's getting himself involved now, and you have seen that the lead has slowly diminished a little bit since that involvement has lifted. Ben's going early. Oh my God, the pace. Only for it to be completely held up, and now we're playing a half-court set again. All that run for nothing. Wilson, 4 minutes to play. Trying to bounce it into Watford, but that is denied, and we've got 6 to shoot. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. 3 to shoot. Williams is putting up a contested 3. Oh my God! How the fuck has he scored that? From like 6 feet behind the line. That is incredible news. How did he make that? It's only our 6th 3 of the game as well, which makes it even more amazing. Simpson picks up his dribble. Length of Williams forces the kick out. And now Bridges has to cook on Watford. It's a tough 3. Oh my God. What the fuck, mate? Why? Oh my God, he's fouled him on the 3. Are you taking the fucking piss? Bridges free throws again. He's had 5 in fucking 3 minutes. Not even. He's scored like their last 9 points. Or if he makes all 3, it'll be the last 9. He's had 2 and 1s, and then this. But that free throw rims out and we get lucky. Wilson will sit. Lead is 16. Williams will go to the bench. Beekman's in the game with 3:30 to play. So Bridges at the line for one more free throw with 3:30 to play. That's in. And the Nets will look to hold this lead, I think. For the final 3.5, it's going to be important we close this quarter out nicely. Tough 2 for Watford. The spin and the conversion. Got the soft bounce on the rim. It's back up to 17. Gibson a Curry. That is way too open. Defense has loosened up in the last couple of minutes. Since the halfway point of this third quarter, it has been loose. And Tosin responds with a 3 of his own. So the Nets have hit a couple buckets in quick succession. You like to see it. Bridges has Beekman on him. Different weight division. Ben reads the pass out. And he nearly lost the ball, but he's got that handle. Watford has an open look. Gibson was napping, and there's another 3-pointer. So just as quickly as the Hornets got into a bit of motion, the Nets have done the exact same thing. It's a 3-point frenzy at the back end of the quarter. I mean, we'd had like 9 threes between the two teams until halfway through this quarter. Curry throws it out of bounds. It's going the other way. Good couple of stops in the last couple possessions. After some open looks, we've tightened the screws yet again. And it's back up to 20. Got as low as 15. Inside the final 2 minutes or so now. Or closing in on that. Simmons. Backdoor cut. Lob! Beautiful work. The athleticism on show, on full display there. Piece of art. Jeffries to Wong, top of the key. Crossover. Tries to split the defenders. Wasn't successful. Watford isn't even facing the fucking ball. So he gave up the offensive rebound. And then a foul. It'll be the first inside the final 2 minutes, I believe. That's a bailout of sorts. Would just be great if Watford could actually do a better boxing out effort. Johnson nearly lost the ball going up for that dunk. That was very, very close to being a disastrous outcome. What? How has he got free throws? What? Are they in the bonus? That's off. And you knew it immediately. The rotations on that ball, the revolutions, no good. So, one more free throw for Gibson. 1:38 to play in the third. And that one is also off. And Tosin gets the rebound and Simmons will push the pace. Gets it ahead and it is off hands and it's off Net's hands. So, back the other way again. Simmons moved it that quickly, the camera couldn't even keep up with it. So inside the final 90, Wong. Simmons tried to overcommit, wasn't successful with the steal attempt. And then what? It's going to go the other way. It's an offensive foul. Wong would have gotten the and one opportunity if that wasn't called an offensive foul. I think Gibson was doing some illegal work off the ball. And yeah, I don't know. Watford wasn't allowed to contest. Oh, what a feed! Beautiful, Ben! Beautiful pocket pass. I think it's a 4-on-5, though. Watford was out of the play initially. But a good recovery by the Nets, and the Hornets travelled. So, bit more life at the back end of this third quarter for both teams, really. Was pretty pedestrian for some time, and all of a sudden, the scoring has seen a massive hit, a massive boost. Watford takes it in, hangs, another two, nope. A board for the Hornets. 40 seconds to play in the third. Curry, guarded by Simmons to the corner. Drive in, off one leg, that's off. And Beekman nearly experienced a falcon. Went right into the jaw there. 28 seconds on the clock. 11 to work with for the Hornets. Kick out. Curry will go early. Step back two. That is short. Offensive rebound. Yes. And an extra opportunity for Wong. That three rims in. Bit of a letdown there because I tell you what, offensive rebounding I feel has lifted in this third quarter for the Hornets. Probably a few points better than what they should be. 4 to shoot. Watford's going to put a 3 up, isn't he? 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Ben, nope. Wasn't gonna count anyway. It was well off, and that's 3/4 time. But the Nets are up by 21. And even though the Hornets improved their scoring in the third quarter with 26, the Nets also improved their total with 31. It's improving as the game wears on, and they lead by 21 heading into the fourth quarter. 84 to 63, the scoreline. And for the Nets, I mean, we've got 5 players in double figures with a number of other players potentially reaching that mark. Amazingly enough, D'Lo is one of the guys that is not in double figures, but he is a team high plus 22 on the game. Miles Bridges with 21 for the Hornets. He was forcing the issue a little bit more in this third quarter. However, they still have no other player in double figures, so the supporting cast has been severely lacking for them, while the Nets have been a lot better. Watford is shooting above 50%. Tosin's round about that mark. Simmons has 5 assists. He got busy with the basketball, facilitating the rock in that third quarter. I think he only had 1 assist at halftime. And Zaire Williams is 13 as well. He's hit 3 threes on the game. The most impressive being that off the dribble 3 winding down the clock, midway through that third quarter. The free throws came in abundance in that third quarter. A lot of them for both teams. But the 3-pointers for the Nets, well and truly boosted. I think they were 2 of 15 at the halftime break. They were 6 of 10 in that third quarter. Of course, funding that 30-point third quarter. And they are now shooting above 50% from the field. The Hornets only at 33%, 25% from 3. The Nets aren't doing too much better from 3, but I tell you what, the Hornets' turnovers piled up in that third quarter. They doubled their tally and really helped the Nets out. It was sort of cancelling out the amount of free throws that they were getting, getting those opportunities, but then that was being cancelled out because they were just throwing a lot of possessions away. They probably could have won that third quarter points-wise if they were a little bit more careful with it. But we head into the fourth quarter with the Nets up by 21, and those are words that I haven't been able to mutter for a long time. A long, long time. We haven't experienced a game like this. Russell is starting the fourth quarter, which is an interesting experience because I feel 21 up, it's probably not necessary, but Claxton's out there with D'Lo. Clax faked the handoff. Hangs, that is a shocking layup attempt. Diabate was not moved. Can the Hornets go on an early quarter run? That'll make it very interesting. Smith, given a lot of space. He's not shooting the ball well, though. And that attempt checks that box. Again, 1 of 10 in the game, Nick Smith. Claxton got completely dumped. And then Russell shot a contested 3, and that went clank. They're going to lob it into Diabate. It's waved off. Smart foul by Russell, who was absolutely cooked for positioning there. 84-63, the scoreline. Smith will trigger in. They've got Micic, Okogie, Diabate, Wong, and Smith, the 5. The Nets have got Claxton, Williams, Johnson, Russell, and Beekman. The Nets get a steal, and then it's well read by Wong. Good save, but straight to Williams, and Russell is an open 3. Instead, he bypasses the defender, kicks it out to Johnson, and that 3 is off. They've got the numbers, but Beekman with the steal, he gets it ahead to Russell, who hadn't even gotten back on defense, and he lays it in for 2. So, 86-63. Beekman, Russell backcourt. Interesting dynamic. Russell playing the 2 almost. Kick out. Good find. Micic, an open shooter, and he knocks that 3 down. 86-66. Couple minutes gone here in this fourth quarter. Nets in control. That can change very, very quickly. Oh, what a cuts. Beautiful by D'Lo. Another dime. He has the ball on a string. The control. Okogie, that's a foul. Bit of a body bump with Keon Johnson, and Okogie will get the 2 shots. Have they called that? They've called that on the floor. What? D'Lo has just been flinging that basketball today. It's so pleasant to watch the passes that he's distributing, you know. And it's been a low turnover game for the Nets as well, something that also has not been the case for a long, long time. Usually we're a bit more turnover prone. This has been a consistent showing for the Nets. Russell. Gonna bring it up. No. Okogie trying to fucking flop. What a joke. And then Russell got decked and lost his footing. And I reckon a little bit of knee-on-knee action there, because that is where D'Lo's gone immediately. Let's have a look. I reckon Okogie's just grazed him. Ball inbounded to Claxton. Russell sets the screen, only to collect the ball himself. 8 to shoot. Had it knocked away. And then Diabate with the hustle, but not the handle. Did well, though, to recover it. And they've got a 4-on-2. No Nets numbers back. And Wong is fouled by Beekman going up. So 88-68 the score. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Rockets in a couple of games' time. That is not going to be as fun as this game here. In terms of seeing the Nets actually leading a game of basketball. They may compete against Houston, but I don't think they're going to necessarily win that game the way the Rockets have been playing this season. Wong makes both. And it's back down to 18. Hornets outscoring the Nets in the quarter. So far. 2.5 gone. Johnson. Looking for Williams, who's fighting for space, and Micic was a little bit too overzealous. And it will be a foul on him. Williams going to inbound it. Claxton, 9:15 to play. To Russell. Hung in the air, nearly trapped. Johnson, spin move. Lost the ball going up. Stripped by Simpson. He's going to drive down the middle. Layup. Good acrobatics, but he blew the layup. And then they kick it out and they'll have another look. A Kogi. Yes. Timeout by Jordi Fernandez. Yet again, the box out. Opportunity to put this team to bed, but the second chance points, I don't know what it was at halftime, but I tell you what, it's been a little bit out of control in this second half. So fairly frustrating to see those buckets going in. Not remotely surprised. Alrighty. I don't know where I can find the second chance points. We'll just chuck it on the box score. I won't do any explaining. I'm just trying to see. Just trying to see what's up with. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. So, look, this game is not over yet. Not necessarily. You know what? The Dayron Sharp absence really hurts them. The Dayron Sharp loss really hurts him, because I don't think these offensive rebounds would have been given up on Dayron's watch. That's for sure. So 88-73 the scoreline. Okay. So D'Lo back on the bench with Keon Johnson and Beekman. So wholesale changes here. And who are they running? Watford, Tosin, Wilson. Who else we got? Ben and Zaire, the 5. Watford is getting the facilitation responsibilities. Ben's playing a small ball 5 role. Watford gets it back. 7 to shoot. I don't know what he is doing. 3 to shoot. Somehow moved through. Blew the layup. And then the Hornets get the rebound. Opportunity for the deficit to be trimmed a little further. Okogie moves inside. Off one leg. It's off. Tosin the rebound. The spin move. That's a skillful move. Simmons behind the back. Wilson to Williams, who cut down the middle. But that opportunity, that ship has sailed. That's an interesting pass. Ben protects the space. Foul and 1. Ben's fucking taking the piss. This is his level right here. That's a great take by Ben Simmons. It looks easier than it actually was. The control with one hand, and then, of course, scores off glass. And then converts the free throw, which I swear to God, his free throws have improved. Ben's in double figures now. Zaire with the knockaway. How on earth did we not end up with the ball? That's a little bit stiff. Zaire with a great knockaway. And the Nets were off to the races. I mean, 2 players were in the front court for the Nets. And we hadn't even won the ball yet. So they were well and truly alert to what was going on. What was transpiring. 18-point game. Micic to Wong. Kick out to Micic. He's going to step back on Simmons. Nope. He's going to pass it off, and Wong. That three goes clank. Rebound by Watford. Gets it ahead to Wilson. The lob's on offer. Wilson's going to go himself and does well to draw in the defenders and keep them indecisive. So, good control there by J-Dub, because we have not seen his control really be on show at the rim. That touch has not been there. Micic tries to get rid of Toast, and that is a tough shot. It's off, and yet again, fucking pissing me off, man. I know Diabate is like, he's actually like a Dayron Sharp regen. He's like the same guy, but mate, you got to put a body on him. Scouting report would have 100% said that you need to just box out on him. That knockaway just landed straight with Ben Simmons, so pretty fortunate the Nets, and Wilson's three goes down. Efficiency is being crazy today by him. So back up to 21. Very fortunate to get a three out of that. I thought the steal was right there for the Hornets, but instead, a three for the Nets. And up the other end, the Hornets get fouled. They are in the bonus. They will shoot the rest of the way. 6:20 to play in the match. 96-75. The scoreline. The Nets have led without trailing the entire night. The Nets have done well. It got down to 15, and since that point, they've gone on an 8-2 run to keep the Hornets at bay. Bridges is back in for the final 6 minutes. This is an interesting decision, because, I mean, like, they're down by 20. Are they actively trying to get Bridges injured? Potentially. Free throw is off. Watford protects nicely. Hornets split the pair. And we hit the halfway point of this fourth quarter with the Nets up by 20, 96-76. Watford over the shoulder to Wilson. He's going to feed it to Tosin and set that hard screen for him. Tosin leaves it for Johnson. Wilson's going to try his luck again. That one goes clank. Board by Bridges. He's close to a double-double if he isn't already. He will drive in. Plants the pivot foot and kicks it out to Micic. Splash! Micic is a skilled scorer, and he barely has played for the Hornets this season. He's been behind a number of players in the rotation. Lead at 17 for the Nets. They trail. Well, they've been outscored in the quarter by 4. Watford's going to step into another 3, and that's off. One and done. Hornets going to go early. Time is not their friend. Wong out to Micic. Back to Wong. Trying to create that space. He's got to settle for less. Simpson, good cross. Drive in. Good defense. Rebound by the Nets. And I thought Diabate was going to get another offensive rebound. He's playing with a lot of energy right now. Simmons the kick out. What a find. Johnson 3. Nope. Bridges the board. Inside the final 5 minutes. Bridges. Loopy pass out to Simpson. That's an open 3. It's an air ball. And it's going to be Nets basketball. With the lead at 17. I'd imagine the Hornets are comfortably losing, I think. Damn, LaMelo Ball was averaging 23 field goal attempts per game. Ridiculous. Don't know what the efficiency is on that, but it's pretty impressive. Ball inbounded to Simmons, who will leave it for Watford, and we're going to play pretty conservative from this point onwards. Watford to Tosin. Now Simmons will back down Diabate, and he's going to put another one up with the right hand, but that's a rim grazer. And the board for the Hornets Bridges with another one of those. He's going to drive on Watford. The spin move. Multiple pirouettes. That didn't even hit rim. Good defense by Watford. Remaining disciplined, not committing the foul. And Bridges is tightly pressing Watford there. Only momentarily, though. Now in a switch, he'll pass to Tosin, who thought about the three, and now he puts one up because he saw the space, and I don't think Diabate expected it, and that will ensure that a timeout is called by the Hornets. Hopefully that's the final stoppage of the game. The Nets are going to win this one by probably around 20. We've got 4 minutes to play. I'm just going to embrace it for what it is because it doesn't happen often that we win. Ben and Clax making free throws. I know. It's a good day. Hasn't happened in a while, has it? Let's go to the box score and just see that little thing that you've pointed out there. Ben and Claxton have combined for 5 of 7 from the line. That's pretty good. And the Nets have only shot the 18 free throws. They've been outdone by the Hornets in that respect. But the threes are even, and they have hit 11 more shots than the Hornets. Pretty clear that they have dominated in comparison to the Hornets. I mean, they've only got 3 players in double figures. And a couple players who have played decent minutes who have not scored. So, yeah. On the flip side, the Nets have got, well, D'Lo's got one of the weirdest stat lines I've seen from him. 6.7 rebounds, 7 assists in only 21 minutes. Clax with the 11, Zaire shooting the ball very well. Watford shooting the ball quite well. Simmons the same, 10 and 6. So good return game for him. Tosin's got the 14 again. So he's found a great balance today, scoring the ball from the outside, getting those free throws. And he is now a team high in the plus minus. And Jalen Wilson has had some very inefficient games in the last couple of weeks, but he is shooting the ball lights out. 3 threes, a couple makes inside. He hasn't missed a 2, which is sort of strange to think, given I was bagging the crap out of him last game. He's got the 15, and then Keon Johnson, he hasn't shot the ball that well. 6 of 17. He has not made a 3-pointer, but when he's cut to the basket and shown that energy, that athleticism at the rim, it's resulted in good things. So very clear that the output for the Nets has been far more. It's superseded the efforts of the Hornets, and I think that was to be expected heading into the game today. So 99-79, we are in the twilight phase of this fourth quarter. 4 minutes to play. So, why is Claxton playing? We've brought Clax back in. It's a bit strange. Johnson read the pass upstairs. And Miles Bridges just put a hand in his back, and that's going to be called a foul with 3:37 to play. So, a little bit of frustration there. It's a little bit careless. So, can the Nets crack the ton? They have not done that for a few games as well. So, Beekman, spin move. He lost his footing. And it somehow ended up with Jalen Wilson, who blows the layup. Do not understand how he's missed that layup. Uncontested right at the rim. Bridges is still on the court. That's a bit strange. Smith back in as well. They got their starters in almost. They got 4 of them in. Bridges missed another 2. Gibson got another offensive rebound. And Claxton blocks it again. Half a dozen blocks for him, but Bridges ends up with a 2. Oh my God, we nearly turned it over off the inbounds. So 99-81. How How many times has Clax had 6 blocks in a game? Oh my god, that's a shocking pass. I don't know where Johnson was looking, because Claxton was well and truly not in business to collect that lob. Goodness gracious me. The last time the Nets had more than 101 points was when we won 2 weeks ago. That's fucking unbelievable. We've been that bad on offense. And it's coincided with Cam Johnson's absence, Ben Simmons' absence. Yeah, those are the main two. Cam Thomas's absence. Granted, I don't think Thomas was playing for that win in Portland. He's been out for a long time. Claxton misses another free throw. But we cracked the 100 points for the first time in a long time. 2:24 to play in this game. 19 points up. Hornets have outscored us this quarter, but I don't think that's really a good thing. Bridges steps back for 3. It's off. Another offensive rebound for the Hornets. And Gibson traveled. 2:11 to play. Second half, the Hornets have not looked after the basketball very, very well. The Nets have only scored 14 points, 16 points, I think. God, the Hornets have 1 fast break point the whole fucking game, man. Nets are going to hold. 2 minutes to play in the game. It's basically a ghost town in the arena now. There's like a lot of empty seats. Johnson moves through to score for 2. And that is going to be the best score that the Nets have gotten since they scored 132 against Portland two and a bit weeks ago. Just a little over. Bridges. 1-on-1 with Tosin. Crosses him up, but lost the ball. What? How is that a kick ball? 1:32 to play. I don't think it's often you see Bridges playing in a situation like this, but... Oh, yep. Off he goes. Bridges with a double-double. But really, there's not much to really get excited about outside of... If you could even get excited about the Bridges performance. Diabate, the push shot's good. He's had a good second half. But 19-point game. We've got just a little bit over a minute to play in this match. Beekman the spin. Good move. Layup. Doesn't get the English on it. And the rebound secured by Charlotte. We're inside the final minute now. Good cut by Diabate. Kicked it out, but Beekman was in the pathway. And the Nets will run, but don't look like they have any level of assertion to keep this one going. Tosin lost the ball initially. Beekman, drive in. And he hangs and scores for 2. Well done. Well, Simpson got the backdoor cut. Perfectly executed. The alley-oop pass was perfect, but the layup, the easiest part of it all, was not. And so the Nets are going to walk this clock out, and we are going to finally win a game of basketball. Jesus Christ. We don't get outscored. Both teams score 20 each in the fourth quarter. And the Nets hold their 21-point lead. The lead did not dwindle at any interval. We led by 7 at quarter time, 16 at the half, 21 at three-quarter time, and 21 at full time. And it was a well-rounded Nets performance. I mean, it wasn't the most amazing showing of all time. We did not have any player score in double figures, score above 20, should I say. However, we did have 6 players in double figures. We had Watford hit 9, and then we had Dayron, who only played 10 minutes, score 5 and have 6 as well. D'Lo got very much involved when he wasn't shooting the ball. He ended with 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Claxton ended with 12 and 8, but he had 6 blocks. And Wilson had 15 in what was a welcomed, efficient game. Keon Johnson, top scorer for the Nets with 18, shocking from 3, but inside the arc was superb, and he had 2 steals and a block as well. This is our largest win of the season, believe it or not. And overall, the Nets shot just a little tick under 50% from the field. Their three-point shooting wasn't great, but it was at about a 50% clip in the second half, which was lovely to see. And, well, free throw shooting wasn't, brilliant in terms of the volume, but we saw Clax and Ben Simmons combine for 9 free throws and shoot those at a pretty acceptable clip given their season averages or career averages even. Tosin got 14 off the bench as well. That was a good showing. And for the Hornets, you got 23 from Bridges, 15 from Micic. But outside of those two, really, you don't expect much else from the other Hornets on that list. It checks out that Micic and Bridges were the 2 top scorers for them. And Diabate, I feel like he's had an impact in quite a few games this season for Charlotte. So a lot of offensive rebounds for him meant he ended with 13 and 8, which was pretty good. But yet again, they shot like trash from especially inside the arc. And their free throw shooting probably left a few points on the table. And we look at team stats real quick. Team stats for this game. If I can get that up. Team stats wise, we had 21 fast break points to 1. I mean, that is just ridiculous that the Hornets had 1 fast break point the whole game. I mean, good thing for us because we well and truly played into the hands of the situation where the Hornets don't have much playmaking or shot creation. And that's probably why Clax was able to end up with the 6 blocks because they were playing a lot of half-court offense with not much offensive creation. And we've seen time and time again this season what that looks like because the Nets have done it in many games where they've experienced the brunt of, rim protectors and good defenders. We've struggled. And so to see the Hornets have 1 fast break point, that basically summarizes exactly how, the treatment that we have had to experience. And we've had plenty of 20-point losses exactly like this. So to see us do what we did on the break, that was good to see. And also the points in the paint, 54 points in the paint. We have not had that output in a lot of games this season. We're usually sub 40. So it's good to see that we cracked 50 and had a bit of a better balance, weren't as reliant on the 3, and our volume was much, much lower from the outside. So I'm pretty happy with that. The offensive rebounding, we got smacked. It was 18-7 on the offensive glass, and I reckon Diabate had a lot of those. So that's probably one area we need to clean up. But if Dayron's out for a bit of time with the hamstring issue, that's going to be something that we're going to have to work with. We're going to have to deal with the numbers that we have available because, Dayron is a bit one of a kind in terms of how he rebounds the ball. And to miss him means we're missing the bulk of our offensive rebounding. Like Dayron was on the floor for 10 minutes, and he had the equal most offensive rebounds out of any net. So that is the impact that you are losing. Good to see Ben Simmons have 6 assists today off the bench and score 10 points. That's lovely. How many offensive rebounds? Taj Gibson had 5 offensive boards and Diabate had 4. So, yeah. That's not ideal that we're giving up that many rebounds to those players. I'm interested to see whether or not Şengün Cooks or whoever their backup center is, Houston's, I'm not sure. I think it's Steven Adams. If that is the case, we could be in a little bit of trouble because we just don't have anyone that is as bully ball as Steven Adams. Looks like Jock Landale's getting minutes. Adams is injured, so Jock Landale, Jay Sean Tate. Okay, that could be interesting. Those are the next 2 games we play, though, against Houston. So that's going to be an interesting watch. I don't think we're going to get away with playing the way we played today against Houston. They're going to be a very tough opponent. But yeah, we're going to be here for it regardless. But we are done here for now. So we're not doing the game next against Houston. We are doing the game after that. So hopefully that clarifies everything you need to know. But thank you for tuning in again today. Make sure to drop a like on your way out. Thanks for the support as always and your chat messages. As I said, we will chat to you soon. Have a good rest of your day and bye for now.